Hey guys, how's it going? It's RC Knockout and I'm back with another video. Today I have my 6x6 crawler out. You wouldn't have seen this in a video for quite a while. I had it out in the snow quite a while back. I had a HG, I think was the brand of body. It looked kind of like a Mercedes-Benz 6x6 body on it. Now I've taken a Proline. I don't know what this body's called. It's a GMC. What's it called? I don't know what it's called, but it's a GMC, basically heavy-duty rig, and it's meant for 110 scale, and I think this is a 110 scale 6x6 crawler, but obviously with the heavy 6 wheels, I had to cut out the fenders so it would fit a little bit nicer. And I painted it red, put the decals on. I had to rig up some body posts so it would work. I still have these tires on. These are Interco Irok tires with the original aluminum wheels that came with this RC. And this RC is a Integy 6x6 crawler. And I have mixed feelings on Integy. Overall, this crawler's been really good. Not really that much is broken on it, so that's good because I don't know if you can find replacement pieces. Kind of looked online and I don't know, I think you kind of have to use stuff off of other 110 crawlers. But yeah, it's all metal, all aluminum. I'm trying to remember how much this cost. I want to say it was like $600 or something, and that's as a roller. And that doesn't come with a body. That's just a aluminum roller. And as you can see, when I take this body off, you're going to see it's kind of a little bit of a Frankenstein build because I didn't really know where to put stuff. And I had a, well, I'll just show you. So here's the body on it. I think the body looks pretty good. The tires that are on it right now, I don't know if it's because there's such a lack of foam in there or the foam is so soft, but they don't work that well on this rig because this rig weighs so much. Alright, get the body off of this. Gotta be careful, I've got the clip sitting on top. So yeah, I just have that painted up. I think it's a pretty good looking body. So yeah, I made a little bit of a platform because I didn't really know where to mount my ESC and stuff. I could have put something across here, kind of mounted it up there, but there wasn't really a very good spot to mount the ESC, so I ended up buying these. I actually bought these for another purpose. These are actually like sand recovery tracks for like 110 scale RCs. And I just zip tied them on both sides. I originally had the receiver pack, or I originally had my servo pack mounted right here, but it was a nickel metal hydride pack that weighed a lot, and it wasn't very good weight distribution because the thing wanted to tip a lot easier because there's a battery that sat up really high. So I ended up switching to a lithium polymer pack, and which is much lighter, and then putting it back there. I have Integy, these are aluminum body posts, extended. I think that's the gist of it. All the drive shafts are steel or aluminum. They're steel, I think. Well, actually the center portion is at, I think, aluminum, but the ends are steel. And so all aluminum axles, steering, tie rods, steering linkage, all suspension links are aluminum. You can see it kind of has a pass through this axle. So this axle right here, this second axle, is a little bit different than the others because it transfers the power right through the pumpkin and then connects to this much shorter axle that then goes to the third axle. And the shocks on this thing are actually pretty stiff. But if you want me to give you a demonstration on this, I have the 6-wheel steer enabled right now. and it makes the steering radius much tighter. I mean, this thing turns like a boat otherwise. I don't know if you can see the push, but the tires, when I do the steering and I drive, it's just really pushing on those tires, on the edges, on the sidewalls. I don't know if you can see that very well, but so there's a lot of pushing going on, so the sidewall's kind of caving, especially on those back tires. So yeah, I believe this is an RC four-wheel drive ESC, and this is a dual motor ESC. And here's the DEC right down here. I disconnected it, but it's sitting right up under there. By the way, this model is an Integy dual motor crawler. So I bought two Power Hobby brushed 35 turn 540 motors, and came with the gearbox and everything. So you can see it's just a little plastic covering, but I don't know what size pinions I have on there, but it's the same for obviously both the motors. It has a slipper clutch and everything, like I said, is aluminum. Everything, the chassis, I added this right here because I didn't know where to mount my ESC. Because here's the battery tray right here. And the battery tray, I think, set up even higher because right here is actually the battery box, or the receiver box is right here. I took the lid off of that, and I think I mounted this battery tray as low as I possibly could. Unless it was mounted on the back, I can't remember. But either way, I guess it doesn't really matter. But after I disconnected the BEC, I needed something to run my servos, so I'm running a 2-cell 7.4 volt LiPo pack, which works really well and that's connected to a little connector that I basically connected right there. As you can see, the Frankenstein, when it comes to wiring all over this thing, there's wiring all over the place, but then it goes in the receiver box and it plugs in, so it works really well. And it actually it makes run times a lot better because this thing weighs so much that running off of one battery drains it so quickly that when I have the servos just running off of this one, works a lot better. And really, it's not that much more difficult to charge them because I have more than one charger, so I can connect them both up at the same time and charge them. So, but these tires are on here, these Interco. They had, I don't know what type of tires they were. They were pretty non-aggressive. I want to say like construction-like tires, or like just truck-like tires. They weren't really off-road, super off-road, knobby tires, but the tires that came on this weren't very good traction-wise, so I took them off. And it did come with these aluminum, these are true beadlock wheels. And I put these Interco Iroks on, but I might switch these out because they cave so much. There's so much sidewall give in these tires that when all 6 wheels are turning, the thing just is kind of like pushing itself. And these are locked axles. All 6 axles are locked, and the axles are all aluminum. And the pumpkin of these axles, especially the front one, the pumpkin on it gets caught on a lot of stuff because this thing doesn't have a lot of ground clearance. Just a little bit of ground clearance. Not a whole lot at all. I mean, it brushes up against stuff pretty quickly. So yeah, and the shocks are all stock. They're oil filled. This is a bumper that I had on my Axial SCX-10 I think this was the ready to run bumper from my Jeep Cherokee XJ. And I just cut the ends off and put it on here. So there's more clearance for the tires to actually climb up over stuff. So that's what I have on the front. Servos, let's see what the brand of servos are. They're Power Hobby servos, heavy duty servos. They work pretty well. They're Metal Gear servos. I think I have aluminum servo horns on all the servos. This is 6-wheel drive and 6-wheel steer, by the way. So I have servos on each axle. And I have it set up on my controller where I can actually switch it pretty quick between if I want to run 6-wheel steer or just the fronts. Most of the time I run 6-wheel steer just because this thing has a horrendous steering radius if I don't.